All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, Black Ops, Call of Duty, I love Black Ops. I actually like Black Ops more than Modern Warfare. Call me weird, whatever. I know a lot of people like Modern Warfare. It is what it is. But Call of Duty is one of those games that's just going to sell well no matter what. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't really matter what gets shown. It doesn't matter me talking about this, that, or whatever. I understand it. I get that. But I still find it very interesting because at the end of the day, man, I wonder who's actually buying this stuff. I wonder if it even costs money, right? I don't even know at this point. But I just wonder, who are these skins for? Because these people clearly have existed prior, right? And they've been utilizing skins that are in the game. And I got to imagine who's going to use this skin other than people trying to essentially just make fun of the fact that it's a non-binary operator in a series for a game that I feel like nobody actually cares about when playing Call of Duty, by the way. One of the most toxic games out there suddenly has a non-binary operator. I gotta imagine that most modern people today who classify themselves as non-binary probably couldn't hang out in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby if their life depended on it. You know what I mean? So just to see a skin being offered, a non-binary operator skin being offered in Call of Duty, I find it to be extremely ironic. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So we got some key takeaways, and I feel like this is the most important thing for a lot of people, right? Because when they do stuff like this, they want to be able to virtue signal with it, even though it means nothing ultimately at the end of the day. Nobody's really going to, interact with it very much or even care about it. At the end of the day, it's about the perception of virtue. It's about putting it out there on Twitter and writing articles like this and being able to say, we were the first to do blah. That's basically what it is. So Volta Rossi is the first non-binary operator in Call of Duty history. That's really what they're really trying to put out there. That's probably the most important thing to them. She's the first, right? Oh, this is the first non-binary operator. Wow. Rossi's description only uses they, them pronouns, whereas other characters use he, him, or she, her, indicating that this is in fact an intentional decision. While they are the first non-binary operator, they aren't the first example representation in the series. Black Ops Cold War lets you choose Agent Bell's gender in the campaign, and you can make them non-binary if you want it. Now, Call of Duty has been sneaking in a little bit of wokeness here and there every now and then, and they've made their, I guess their side pretty much clear with a lot of things you could do with clan tags, right? I don't remember which game exactly it was, whether it was Modern Warfare or Black Ops. I want to say it was probably Black Ops. I don't know if it was Black Ops 4 or 5 or something like that, but in Black Ops, you were able to actually you have your clan tags, and you couldn't use ALM, right? You couldn't use All Lives Matter. You couldn't use WLM. You couldn't use White Lives Matter, right? But you could use BLM. You could use Black Lives Matter 100%, but you couldn't use anything else, which again, they've made it very, very clear. It says Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is introducing the series' first non-binary operator, which is Volta Rossi. Described as a street-smart rogue with a blue blood pedigree, who left the comfort of aristocracy to forge a new name as the Hummins specialist, Rossi uses their ties with the Lutazzi family to give themselves a unique insight into Avalon. As reported by Gaming Bible, Rossi's description makes sure to only use they, them pronouns, whereas other operator descriptions use he, him, and she, her, so it appears to be a purposeful choice on Activision's part, indicating that Rossi is non-binary. It's a huge step for representation in the series, directly building on Agent Bell from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, here's the thing, right? So for me, obviously this is all performative and people try to make this into their entire freaking identity, but it's literally a woman character skin, right? They've had women character skins for the longest time, and all they did to try to make themselves feel special is they slapped a title on it as non-binary, and boom, suddenly it's something that's never happened before. But anybody with a brain, anybody with any sort of actual, eyes can realize that, oh, this is just a short-haired woman. That's all it is. It's a short-haired woman being introduced into the game. They modeled it after a real woman, I am sure, and they put it into the game, and the only thing that makes it non-binary is the pronouns and the short hair, because obviously non-binary people have adopted short hair as their marker of being non-binary. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a long-haired non-binary person. I'm sure they're out there. I'm just saying I rarely see it. And then it says in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you play as a custom character called Agent Bell, one serving as the right hand to Soviet intelligence officer and spy master Perseus. The CIA brainwashed you so that you would help take down his network. Given that Bell is a complete complete blank slate of a character. Unlike past Call of Duty protagonists, you can designate their gender before starting the campaign. To that end, you can either make them male, female, non-binary, or classified. If you choose the latter two options, funnily enough, Bell will make no noise when injured. Non-binary people are built different clearly. That's strange. Very, very odd. This makes Bell, on technicality, the first non-binary character in Call of Duty, but it's decided by the player, not written into the... No, it doesn't. No, it does. Jesus Christ, man. You know what? Whatever. And most people will have chosen male or female, whereas in Rossi is plain and simply non-binary. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? So they're trying to take the choice away from people, right? So as before, you were able to make your character into whatever you want. That's fine. You know, if it's trying to take a sort of RPG element like that with a character creator and just make whatever gender you want, you know, you can't make the character. Obviously, it's predetermined depending on the gender you choose. But ultimately, you know, you got male who's going to be a male, and you got female non-binary who's going to be a female. That's basically it, because they almost never do male non-binaries. You guys notice that the non-binary thing is almost never a male. Almost never. It's never adopted into a male, especially in video games. It's always a female with short hair, and it's the same stereotype. You know, these people try to say labels are a bad thing, and we don't like being labeled as anything. But at the end of the day, it's very easy and clear to see that this is, in fact, very stereotypical. All of this is very stereotypical, and it makes it very boring because you all look the same. No matter how much you try to say you're different and diverse and all that stuff, you're not. You're just a female with a different slate. That's all it is. And again, I understand people out there need to have an identity. They need to tie something to their identity, and that's fine. But ultimately, you know, I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to look at you and lie to myself. You can lie to yourself. That's fine. That's your prerogative. It's your life. But I'm not going to do that, right? I'm never going to do that as much as people want me to. People try to compel your speech all the time online, and that's just not going to be a thing. So again, guys, I think that adding this non-binary operator, don't really care, right? Because at the end of the day, man, Call of Duty is going to sell no matter what. It's very clear. And I feel like they all did it for this. This is what they did it for, to be able to say, this is the first non-binary operator in Call of Duty. Now, keep in mind, this is what the journalists are trying to make it into. It's not that necessarily Activision is trying to make it into that, right? Activision gave this character a they-them pronoun title, but it didn't act like they're not actually virtue signaling with it yet. I don't know if that's coming, but they haven't actually, you know, virtue signaled it with the I haven't seen any posts from Activision talking about this is the first non-binary operator, you know. Now, if there is, that's something different, and I'm sure that is coming. Trust me. Now that the journalists have ran the story, I'm sure Activision is going to come out with a statement saying, see, look how virtuous we are. This is the first non-binary operator we've ever put in Call of Duty officially. Don't you guys love us? Yeah, we totally didn't have so many issues with our company and lawsuits and whatnot. No, you guys love corporations, right? Right? We virtue signaled to you. We told you how important your social identity and cause is. Yes, love us. That's exactly what's going on here with Black Ops 6. Now, I don't know if this is going to deter anybody. I guess we can have a separate conversation over whether or not this is going to deter people. I'm sure it might deter a couple, but really when it comes to Call of Duty, man, people just want to play multiplayer. People just want to shoot other people in the game. That's really all it is. And to be honest with you, if you're going to have a non-binary person running around, it doesn't matter, man. You're still going to be just the same as everybody else getting blasted away in the game in multiplayer. So let's just see what ends up happening. But again, I'm not saying this game's going to fail in any capacity. Don't believe that at all. And I just think it's a stupid virtue signal, which ultimately, anytime they do something like this, you got to imagine that's pretty much what it is. I just want to see if Activision actually makes an official statement talking about this character being non-binary, you know, canonically or officially in any actual capacity aside from gaming journalists doing it for them. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.